So we're just going to roll this over. All right, get your butts up the river. We'll find something.
Okay.
All right, here we go. So, 10 days have passed since the last episode. Who has not been able to look at the, you know, you can make homemade bread in little tins of yeast?
Sourdough starter.
Sourdough.
Yeah.
Just people listen to our episode, they ran to their freaking cupboard, their baking cupboard, and just tossed out the yeast. Yep. Especially if the letter D is anywhere, anything on the label. Nope. Hell no. And if you don't know what we're talking about, don't go back and listen to the last episode. You don't know. And some logos.
Yep.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode. You know, I just noticed that we made fun of the last intro, and I never really said that we are the Elven Portal podcast. I never said that we're playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition Revised, at least for the character sheets. I never even said that we're playing Age of Ashes, Pathfinder 2nd Edition's very first campaign, that we're in Book 3. We're in the third chapter, the third act of Book 3, 3 times charm. And we've been dicking around for more than 3 episodes, I can tell you that. But once in a while, the players need to blow off some steam, throw out some bad jokes and some dad jokes, some role-playing, and then they start whining and demanding combat for XP. I even tried to give out just a sprinkle of XP instead of the overdose of hero points, but no, not good enough for some. So now I picture these guys going back to their strung-out crew and splashing, flapping the paddles flat on the river, trying to stir up some kind of river shark or merman, shouting at the bushes, lobbing rocks randomly at any cluster of grove of trees, trying to stir up some dryads, demanding that we're on
board.
The life of a murder hobo.
No regrets, no consequences. Always moving forward because you can never look back. Don't even look back. The town's burning anyway.
Let's go fight some darkness, guys.
Run! We're not allowed back.
No, get up in the morning, accept their hospitality for breakfast, thank him for being such a gracious host, give him the business card.
All right.
And reprovision, jump on the barge, and get rolling.
I like to think your business card has some magic in it, so that when you actually figure out the name, it'll appear.
Well, the barge's name is L.
El DeBarge.
Yeah.
Now you know why I turned him from a fan to cast member. I can't get enough of this guy. He makes all the dad jokes, so I don't have to. But we digress. As you guys travel, boringly, 50 miles, nothing interesting happens. The crew start getting a little bored with the food. They warned you. 6 days of the same delicious vegetable stew. They start
But I brought
fishing.
them special. I bought them food yesterday.
Yeah. That was a couple days ago.
So then let's start fishing.
So they're already bored again.
Who's got survival skills?
I got survival. I'll fish. I'll fish for them.
There you go.
I got all the skills.
There's a rumor of a giant frog prowling these waters.
When he's in the mood.
I have no survival, but I'm going to try to fish anyways. All right, fish off, guys, in the tower.
Fish off. I'll burn a hero point if I don't win.
That's cheap. That's not very Kyrgyz-like of you.
No, fair competition, but the thing.
Elbrick. You all catch fish. You all hit the mark to catch fish, but it's the size of the fish based on the DCs, okay? Setting a DC at 15 to catch anything. Elbrick with his above board roll got himself a little perch. Not bad. Glug Glug with his commendable roll. Not overly impressive, but definitely rolling low, but relying on skill, which means he's relying more on skill than luck, because if the D20 is luck and he crapped out of that, his impressive plus 15 survival skill means honing and using his knowledge brought him aboard some decent-sized bass. But, with even greater survival skill and stereotypical racist halfling luck, with impressive roll, the large river trout goes to Karam. Now,
Karam, I always knew you were the master baiter.
Well,
It's as big as me.
How a 3-foot guy pulls in a 4-foot fish just by dangling his yeast-infected toes in the water is beyond me, but there it is. Little
I'll
yellow
help you with
smudge
that.
around its mouth. Dig in, fellas. They chop the head off and let it float down the river.
Save that for the frog.
The fish has cold sores.
I'm old gray. There will be people
I
to
have-
get that reference.
Can I have a perception check? I'm not spelling out them all up for you anymore. Perception in the tower, gentlemen.
Does Albrecht know all or see all?
Yeah. Albrecht. A large shadow trailing just beyond most human and visual perceptions is trailing the boat. And it just looks like the darkness of the water until a long tendril shadow reaches out about 30 foot in front of the original shadow and seems to snag that fish head they just cut off that was floating back behind you and disappear. And the entire large shadow recedes into the depths.
And Albrecht goes, "Oh, there's a big one!" And he runs over to that side of the raft and he casts towards where he saw the shadow recede.
Okay. Now, taking the completely wrong note from Halfling Dangling Toes, why Albrecht thought exposing his foot by casting his boot into the water as bait. Yeah. What's your survival?
It is not good.
Yeah,
It
that's what I
is.
figure.
It is +3, but I can,
It's the trailing laces of my boot that attracts like a
But
wiggly.
I'll throw a roll out there for this cast.
Proven method.
I'm suddenly
there you
in-
go.
I'm suddenly run over and I'm going to brace Albrecht. Should he be successful?
We're not fishing for swordfish here, gentlemen. This isn't a little Caribbean boat, but we're just on a river. I will say
We're going to need a bigger barge.
Nice.
instead of a small little perch, you get a decent sized perch this time.
Hey! Oh.
I'm still bracing. I'm still bracing him though.
I
As
saw
if
it.
he's
Oh, yeah.
bringing
There.
in that great big shadow.
Oh yeah, do you imagine like the two guys just heaving on this line? It's so taut, and then out comes this flappy little thing the size of your palm. You guys all fall backwards. It lands on your face. Smack, smack, smack. Spits out the hook in front of Glug Glug and jumps back in, indignantly walking on its fins.
One of the crew members walks by. Don't worry, it happens to lots of guys.
Here.
Yeah.
So I was watching your form. Why don't I give that one a try, and I will cast out the same way toward that same thing.
Okay. What are you using for bait?
Karam.
Karam's toes. Scrape off some of the.
Let me try.
That's
He like
cheating.
he pats Karam on the back collar, but he's actually hooking him by his coat. Toss.
Your people's toes regrow, right?
Yeah. Well, if you got a 4-foot trout with just the foot, imagine what we'll catch with the entire halfling. Toss. Oh my god.
The logic does track, unfortunately.
No, he said he was smart.
I have no idea what we have for bait. It's either some bit of meat from the cracked stew or some leftover bit of food that we brought back from provisions. I don't know what other food we actually would have for bait, so I probably don't have very good bait. I can do a separate survival check to come up. I can use some of the fish as bait. The fish I caught as bait.
Yeah. Al got very excited when somebody cast a bloody fish head into the water and said it attracted something big.
Let me use.
You guys just caught like half a dozen fish.
Let me use the bass I caught as the bait. So you'll need to use a bigger hook. But I'll then break that up and throw that out there.
Tosses it in there. I got one right away. It's the bass still alive trying to escape the hook. I got him. Damn it.
And I'll rip the bass heads off.
Okay. So you're hooking like a headless fish, or are we just using the bass head?
I was going with the back body of it, since it would be able to drain the blood
Freaking
out.
headless bass walk by and all these merfolk are throwing up in the water. The rumors are true. The haunted bass has come among us.
It's all about the bass. It's all about that bass.
Yeah. Might have been 10 days for you, but it's only been an hour for me, and Doug's still on fire. Go, Dad, go. All right. Although you do manage to catch more fish, you don't seem to catch the interest of whatever cast that large shadow.
Okay.
However, at a point where the men need to rest, and we pull over to the side of the river for a little downtime, whether it's overnight cozy cabin time, might be a good call. Cabins up, cabins down. What were the hours of said cabin? And can I have those raw D20 rolls that you owe me in the tower there, Mr. Witt?
Yep. 5 or better. So they're not that bad. How many days?
Fast did we say this thing goes? Took you like 3 or 4 days to go 40 miles on a boat? Because you're going upriver and they go to paddle like mad. I'm pretty sure it took you guys like 2 to 4 days just to get to White Rock, right? It's another 3 or 4 days just to get to the Ravosa ditches, as it were. Yeah, just spam me a bunch.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
Well, the first night didn't work out so well, but we're good so far. Oh, no. Oh,
You only need
my
you only need
rolls are
5. It's
atrocious.
like 1,
there we
5,
go.
7, and a nat 20. And 11.
There we go.
All right. So the first
night we didn't sleep well.
actually, I was like, I can't remember how this went. Weren't you trying to do a 12-hour, like to have it permanent? So it never ended?
I could do it. It lasts for 12 hours.
Yeah, and then, 12, not 24. So during the day, the barge is open and like all through
Exactly.
the night. Okay, so the middle of the night, this thing collapses or slides off the barge. But because Glug Glug wanted to secure it, right?
Just collapses.
It just sort of like, wow. However, even if you're wounded,
That's probably why they don't like the cracked stew anymore.
Well, it doesn't hold all the crew. Could have killed them, but collapsing roof won't hurt 11th level guys much. You guys get some bruises and some hit point loss. You just shake it off and rest it off or heal it off the next day. Travel on, recast, re-memorize. It happens, but it's not really accountable, right? And because you just said it's only really kind of room for us, unless there's like, hey, we got room for one lucky crew member who wants to sleep with the orc and the dwarf and the halfling and the smell. And they're like, no, we'll just sleep out under the stars. Thank you.
There is room for one other person, with Miros being mystically
I generally sleep out
absent.
Either on top of or out.
You imagine like you guys fill the cabin and the teleport incident goes off and adjacent to the barge, Niles comes back and he just like appears in the river and drowns because he's moved in the middle of the night.
Because he portals into the...
He just he portals at barge level and immediately like a foot off the water, but 5 feet from you guys, splosh. What was that?
No, when he portals back in, he portals back into where the barge was when he portaled out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're moving. He is not. Poof. Whoops. So much fun I
That's
could have with that.
you know that's why they say that we'll never figure out time travel. We could actually figure out how to send somebody in one of those directions, but the problem is that the planet Earth is moving so fast that if you try to go back in time, the Earth's position has changed, so you just dump in space.
Do you know that there actually is a dam in China that's so massive when they open and close it, it can actually slow and speed up the Earth's rotation by like 0.6%? They measured this.
Yep.
So cool.
There are mines in Africa that, because so much Earth has been displaced from them while they're digging up lithium, that it's changed the rotation.
Causing a
of the
wobble. Yeah. Causing
Yeah.
a freaking wobble. Nasty. But interesting.
Oh, I bet you rich
mother-
people love that shit.
Top of the world, man.
There's bragging rights for you. My exploitation allowed me to change the rotation of the Earth.
Grandpappy will be rolling in his grave because I caused the rotation of the Earth. All
Okay,
right.
that was pretty funny.
All right. So
We
Oh, God.
are
damn
on a
it.
boat.
I'm streaming and not recording all this time. Why?
Oh
no.
no.
Oh, I'll just take it from the stream.
Okay.
But, starting recording now. Actually, I will start recording in a moment when I get the proper map. Might as well milk this. I put up a map for something, and you think I can find it now? I promise everyone I'm finding this map as fast as I can. So damn it.
Take your time. I'll be right back. Conjure this up. Oh, he's gone. Apologies to the stream. I have to conjure this up. Actually, you know what? Send you guys on your way. Starting to
Okay.
let's get you guys like right into it, right up to where the real action is.
That's fine. Better to play fresh. I stopped short of a
Hope
fight.
you've had a good time and all. Yeah.
My dawn of As long as you don't clear out the hero points at the beginning of the next session, we'll be all right.
I'd say it depends on how many people show up. We end up with like 5 or 6 players. They're gone, man.
Well, okay. It's just why he give them to us. I've had absolutely nothing to roll them on. There's been not a single roll, and I've even offered to burn them on things that you told me I didn't have to burn them on. So it's fine. I appreciate hero points, but if we don't have an opportunity to spend them on anything, then they're...
Why didn't you burn them? You could.
I did. I said if I didn't win this, I would burn a hero point. I've done 7 rolls. I've done 7 rolls tonight. Yeah. I've had 3 hero points for 2 gaming sessions and nothing to roll it on but social encounters, which is fine. I even tried to roll it on social encounters, but they're also all in the tower. So I don't know if I need to burn a hero point in the tower.
I'll let you keep them. I'll let you keep them. Don't worry. I'll let you keep them.
So it's fine.
No. Yeah. Sorry, man. I'm not 100%. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's good.
But well, that rant was worth a hero point. I'll let you keep them. Don't worry.
4. No, I'm kidding.
4. Give me more hero points. Okay, you guys got this one? Here you go.
Nice, yeah, like a ice or a tunnel.
It's actually
okay, it's much bigger.
A stone path that like there's cliffs either side. And you guys are walking up this sort of road towards where guards are, you know. So you guys are like walking up this hill. So this is like the entrance to the quarry itself, right? So after traveling 50 miles to get to another river, another 70 of fishing exploits and cabin exploits, Glug Glug is racked up, you know, D20 hero points in the tower. The gotcha 999 hero points. Yeah. They want me to be sure you hit 11th level before you got here. Here we are, 11th level. A couple XP to spare. Aren't you lucky? Right? 10 years ago, the quarry's production had already started to decline, and diggers discovered a connected series of ancient chambers behind one of the quarry's walls. Our benefactor, our source of veneration, the guy who's not going to charge us for trespassing because he has our blessing to go and investigate this up front. Hopefully he won't stir anything up. One Canton Jarlto. Had decided to close the quarry because they found a shrine that they believe was haunted. Never had a chance to ID it. Kind of a runaway situation. Okay. We believe the Scarlet Triad had identified the deep quarry as a potential storage pen for prisoners gathered from around Rivendell. Someone has visited the site, bribed or taken care of the guards, and is using that several month, as in 2 to 3 month turnover, before even they would even be discovered, to set up this sort of off base. Now you guys drove them out of Cantargo, been rounding them up off the coast, right? And now, after too many episodes of river travel, you find yourselves at the base of a large stone entrance into a quarry. And this width is a good 45 foot across. Okay. Stone padded down, like we're into the mountain range, the lower part of the mountain range itself. So you guys are walking on like a stone trodden road that's been scraped and scrapped by logging equipment that is pulled in and out like massive slabs of stone. You know what I mean? They carve their way in here. Around the shoulder of the looming Summershade Mountain, a path widens into a final steep ascent, and at the top of this rise, 5 armored figures stand tall. To the west, the path, a cave mouth pierces the side of the hill. What do you do? Cave mouth for you. So you guys see the 5 figures in armor, the top
We
of the
do.
rise of this hill. Okay.
Purple boys.
The cave mouth is here,
Mm.
right before them. What do you guys want to do?
What do the guards look like? And do we expect there to be guards here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he was talking about some guards that come by every few months or something. So this was kind of expected.
Parlay?
Can I
Approach
have
and parlay?
intelligence check from you boys in the tower? Glug Glug, you care to nudge a roll that came out, shall we say, forgetful?
Sure, I'll burn a hero point on it.
Okay.
Don't know that that'll do better, but
Yeah, it did. You guys remember, specifically Glug Glug remembers, he talked about a week to turn over. So in a couple of days, he would send guards, like right behind you, or if not, pretty much the same day, upriver to relieve these guys, spend the night, and then send these guys back, right? So you should run into either people that have already changed the shift coming back downriver, which we did not, or if they're behind you, these guards should be expecting, their relief counterparts, not 3 randos, and they are charged with guarding and keeping people out. Glug Glug, you call up to them, and your voice carries easily along the granite path, echoing off the stones, a request for parley, and yet the 5 armored figures stand fast, silent, in the wind that whistles down the Summershade Mountain. What do you do?
draw my weapon and shield and still approach saying parlay.
Okay. You kind of do the cautious 20 foot up, see what they do. Test the waters. What are you guys doing?
Karen will make sure his bow's in hand, and he'll start to move up with Glug Glug, kind of
Okay.
off to his side a little bit.
Al?
How far away are we?
From them?
Yeah.
10, 30, 70, 80, 90, a good 100, 120 feet. And it's uphill, pretty steep. Not so
Both
steep
ways.
that you can't climb it or run it, and not so steep that you can't charge. I don't think it would restrict movement. It just technically, if they were to lob something at you, they do have that arc of higher ground, but it wouldn't really hinder you guys so much as give them the oh so slight advantage.
But they didn't answer when Glug Glug
they're just-
asked for parlay.
They're spread out in a wedge formation. They are
Okay, I
a
begin
little over
to
100
cast
feet from you. Yeah, okay. What do you cast?
Chain Lightning.
Okay. Can I have a... You just gonna waste these dudes?
Yep.
Glug Glug can heal him later.
Okay. May I ask why we're being a little bit overly cautious about wasting supposedly Yarlow's men? Don't
because I trust the information from the Bellflower Network more than this guy, who obviously and clearly didn't trust us.
So you think these guys might have been like, these are like triad guys in disguise?
I think I suspect that even the Lord is in on it.
Oh, okay. All right. So,
And had they responded to him going parlay, even with like a hey guys, or whatever, anything.
Yeah.
But no, they stood fast.
Are they moving? Do they seem to be alive? Are they
Well,
moving?
not for long, but
I don't know if I can get a separate perception check to see whether or not they're moving like living beings or if they are stone cold. And I may not be able to tell from this far.
No. That's okay. You guys are advancing armed. They are standing stock. Okay. Al starts pulling out a spell. Let's go for initiative. Give us your perceptions with actual initiatives and see if anyone beats Al's trigger happy lightning finger.
Oh, I rolled a 19. That's going to be good. Yeah, 39. Oh, Karam.
Oh, but Karam got 19 too. 42.
Makes me want to burn a hero point just to compete. No. Especially since Karam beat me. Beat Albrecht.
42 for Karam, 39 for Albrecht, Glug 28. Okay. All of you, and I don't want to steal Doug's moment, but technically, since they beat your perception and Glug passes, right? You guys move forward. You get into it. Al, you fall into the spell, and you're thinking about the triad and everything. And then it hits you guys almost simultaneously. They aren't moving, and a couple of them have too many legs. And some of their heads are tilted in their helmets just a little bit too far forward or to the left. And is that leg maybe a post propping up a body?
Lucky bastards.
I would say that perhaps Glug's caution, as Glug, you realize that they are already dead and call out a warning. Looking over your shoulder, you see Al perhaps. See, I know if I say Al lowers his hands, he's going to be like, nope, I waste him. I got spell slots for days.
We go up and we're like, they're all charbroiled.
Well, no.
Tell if they died because he charbroiled.
If the people ahead of me were like, whoa, I would stop.
Nope. Right before you get your spell off, and luckily Glug, he seems to realize the same thing you are before you even have to warn them. As gentlemen, you realize that these guys are bodies that have been propped up to look like said guards at a distance. With our amazing powers of perception overriding any distant negative factors of 100 foot or more. You guys realize that, that's a good call, Doug. They're dead. And they've been propped up here just to keep appearances of, people might come by. What do you do?
I probably want to move reasonably quickly toward them, but pause. Sort of like, that's a double move in one round. So something like that, which takes me near the entrance to the cave so I can start to possibly peek in and get a better look. So that's one round of double moving.
Okay. Going with actual initiative.
Good call.
Karam. Well, you were kind of lead on this, but technically now that we're in initiative, Karam.
I think I would basically start looking for traps. Something happened here. I want to start moving slow and just seek for traps.
Like an ambush? Like, they'll get into the bodies and we'll drop rocks on them, that kind of trap? Or like right down here, like, look at the faded spell scorch of the...
Yeah, more like, hidden feat-activated traps or something. Maybe
pitfall.
Pitfall with spikes or something. Or
distract them with bodies. They won't pay attention to the ground. Okay, sure. And Al?
Yeah, so if I noticed that they were not alive things, then yes, I would stop casting.
Okay.
And then just move forward.
All right. Single move from Karam and trying to be cautious. Al, you're moving up a bit. Are you trying to stay behind these guys or close to them?
Kind of in line with Karam, I think.
Okay. And 20. Do you have a 20 or 25?
30-foot move because I am fleet.
Okay. So you can move up and halt some of your movement. Okay. And then the big double jog coming up to 60 foot. Okay. So with sort of a elongated triangle with Glug Glug, although acting last, moving to point. To your left, Glug Glug, about 15 feet away, you see a 10-foot opening of said tunnel aforementioned. Okay. Directly ahead of you, you are on the slight left side of the wedge, and your first body is a mere 10, 20, 30 feet in front of you. And at 30 feet, it's pretty obvious that wind-blowing cloaks and armor and rattling weapons around is the subtle-looking movement of that fooled us, that the couple guys standing there, stock still as in like at the ready. But the slight movement is bodies swaying on tampered-in posts and helmets slightly askew. And it's also pretty obvious at 30 feet, sir, that these guys have been dead a while.
Ooh.
Small insects buzz around the odd helmet, and you can start smelling. The wind shifts, and you can smell the decay.
They've been here a while.
Karam, perception, or even going off the original, you don't seem to find a trap.
I will just continue up towards Glug Glug, but continuing the trap checks.
Okay. Al remains paced.
Yep. I will draw my rod of wonder in one hand and my clan dagger in the other.
Okay. Assuming that you guys are cautiously moving, 1, 2, leaving your third open for perception, you guys are wary of your surroundings, looking for ambush, listening on the wind, smelling the dead bodies, but nothing seems to jump you. And now you have a choice to closely examine said bodies, pass through the 40-foot gap. Now these guys are spaced together at 5-foot intervals, right? Or perhaps check out the tunnel. What do you want to do?
I vote tunnel.
I vote tunnel too. I just don't want to ignore. Why don't you guys start tunnel and start looking for traps, and I'll take a quick 1-round look at the closest body just to see if there's anything like unusual. Are there do the markings all appear to be from the guy that we left of his sigilry and heraldry, or are there other markers of other pieces, people there and that sort of thing?
As if dressed to maintain their part, these do seem to look like guards that were hired from the Yarlto house, and they're still wearing, I don't think their uniforms are like so uniform, but I'm sure you see the odd guy have a Yarlto crest, or we are quarrymen, you know what I mean, like the signs are there.
Right.
These people have been stabbed and shot, and like with arrows, or you know what I mean, like they've all died from puncture wounds and the odd slashing wound, but again, pretty efficiently, brutally, and not so terrible that somebody didn't we'll just sloppily fold this over here and tuck this in there, and maybe a few stitches on that armor because the gaping disemboweling will show, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. Like somebody has very simply, the disguise is up within 30 feet, but just put it together so these guys look like they're intact at 60 feet or more. Some minor effort to prop them up, keep them stationary, and also wrapping them. Someone has also, I wouldn't say lacquered them, but dunked them in something to keep the bugs off.
Mm.
So, like, if these
They
guys have been
thought
dead
that
a
these
long
would be
time,
scarecrows for a while.
yeah.
I go back to the group and I let them know that I say I explain that and I say these were obviously snitches because they're covered in stitches. We can head into the tunnel before anybody else.
I just
Albert-
love the silence.
Albert just
I've-
shakes his head. Yeah, it doesn't
Dude,
say anything.
so good. So good. I love it.
And
I'm pretty
Have
sure
a-
we shoved Karam in the trap. I mean, into the.
I will go first looking for any kind of traps.
All right.
I will detect magic.
All right. Whilst he's detecting, whilst you're searching for obvious, aha, we step into safety and boom. It's windy and cold out here, side of the mountain, Corey. Big open space above and around the corner of said Corey is funneling air, shooting down this, road kind of thing. Good to get the crisp breeze. But again, hard packed stone with some dirt on it. Some dead bodies that have been dipped in oil or something lacquerish to keep the bugs and vermin away from chewing them to bits in the first week. No traps, and no subtle or obvious signs of magic in your radius, Albert.
Okay. So yeah, move on in. I think a good order would be Glug Glug Karam and then myself.
Okay.
And am okay to slow my roll down to Karam's pace as we go into what is more of a dungeon crawl than an open field. That Karam
right.
to get the checks in.
Yeah.
Do we all have dark vision?
I do.
I've got low light vision.
Okay, so I give you a potion of dark vision.
Oh, sweet.
Jeez. How long does that last for? We know? Couple hours?
1 hour.
Oh,
1
good
hour.
enough.
Oh, actually, you want to know what I
enough.
should check?
I think
check
it's
that.
longer now. I feel like
I
feel
think
like
I
you
leveled up.
mentioned it. But at least an hour, enough to get started. He's popped open a map, everybody, and we can't see a thing. So that means it's interesting.
It's about to get interesting. Right? Is that what that means?
Oh, there it
It's
is.
It's about to get interesting. All right.
Level 2.
Yep. At suspense, request data. Try not to talk about where you want to go as opposed, because as soon as you stretch a mini, it reveals, and I'd like to keep this in sort of a theater of the mind like as much detail for said podcast as possible.
I'll let Drew describe steps forward because he's searching and let
Okay.
his character set the pace. And I'll just
Now-
stay within a square of him.
To get here was a bit of a walk. So 20 feet west, snaking north, 20 and then 40 feet curving west, and then another 40 feet, and then another, you guys are like a good
And it is an
200
hour.
feet in. Yeah. Good 200 feet in, right? Before you get to this point where you feel that ahead of you, the 5 to 10 foot wideish cleared chamber that snakes along, but sort of gradually is taking us a little north and a whole bunch west to your left. 5, 10, 15, 25, 30, about, within 60 feet, 40 to 60 feet ahead, it does appear that not only is there a little bit of ambient light spilling from a chamber that's ahead, You guys carefully look at the stone that goes about 40 feet ahead of you. The color of the floor changes from an ambient light source. With your dark vision, you literally see a table covered in tools a good 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, like 100 feet away. And you guys are at that point where you're just coming up, hugging an interior wall and knowing that, you're about to actually come upon some sort of location, some sort of chamber.
I think we switch to stealth at this point, don't we, Drew? I'll drop it. Though.
Does anybody want to stay behind that doesn't have maybe high stealth?
I don't have super high, but I why don't you go out ahead?
Yeah, I'm not stealth at all. But
I'm trained. I'm just not great.
Yeah, I'm not even trained.
Yeah, I'm just trained, but I do have a 19 in stealth.
Oh, but I might get a bonus.
Yeah, I've got a 13 because if I'm
clan
trained in
dagger.
improvisation. So actually, I'm not trained, but I've got a 13. So you should go ahead and then I'll follow like 30 feet behind you because that is one movement behind you.
Okay.
And also, I will also be stealthy when I approach.
I mean, I'll try. I probably won't be successful, but I'll try.
All right. As you guys start rounding the bend, we also hear some low voices. And using your stealth rolls as your initiative, sort of last thing you were doing before you're either going to get jumped or jump them. Al, you got a 6. Karen got 35. And good old Glug Glug got 24, which is pretty impressive, actually. Glug Glug's always so worried he's not going to be very...
The guy in plate mail makes less noise than the
I don't have plate anymore, but I'm a breastplate now, so I think it's a hide plate.
Creeping up.
Not me.
You think you are. So you're doing the
I'm like sneaking along, but I'm actually going dun 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 dun.
do 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 do. Back to her.
Shut up! And I'm like doo 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 doo.
Yeah, he's like doo doo doo, and you're like shut up, and he looks at you and goes doo doo. Just has to finish. Just has to finish what he's saying. All right, Karam, Glug Glug, and even though Al isn't on this arc, it gets you as close as you can where it becomes revealed that you see a bunch of thugs sitting around a round table gambling. From what you little can see of the room, you see weapon racks, lockers made from dark wood stand against the north wall. In an alcove to the west, a bunch of chairs surround a table. It's heaped with coins. Natural passages lead out, and we see a few gamblers, but here more. It's probably 4 to a half a dozen thugs in this room that seem content to bitch, drink, wine, jibe at each other, and be pretty focused on their game. And since we are learning the rules, okay, I am to apply a -4 initiative check to each one of these buggers because they're so focused on what they're doing. However, they do know the sounds of the cavern and any, shall we say, trailer music or, the proverbial 6 where he suddenly coughs or sneezes or something might draw our attention. And, they suddenly go quiet, can't stay mad at Al long. He feeds us such good stew. but I will say -4 like are dropping these guys significantly.
I see that.
Yeah, like
I can only
Just
hear
coming around.
Rahal going, "Hey, I'm sneaking here."
sneak,
At
sneak,
least
sneak,
he's
sneak.
at least he's trained in stealth.
Yeah. Well, you know how like in anime they call it the moves, right? So he's like stealth mode, and then we sneak, and then the echo finally catches up to them in the room, and they hear stealth mode. What the hell was that? Activating stealth mode. Anyway, without further ado, it's time for a little battle. No, it's not. You guys are just gonna sneak right past them, right?
Yep.
There's no need for. Yeah, right.
3 rounds
right.
in, Albrecht is still sneaking.
Glug Glug's like, we don't want to fight. What?
This is I just noticed that there was a sporting competition happening at this table. I won dealt in.
Oh, he's so stealthy. He just slips up a chair, and they just think he's another goon. He's got the manacles. I bet I wager 5 manacles.
The bid comes around.
Nice.
Dude, do you guys have their gear? Do you seriously want to walk up and try to deceive them that you're like fresh recruits for the Triad?
You'd have to keep Karam as like a slave or something. I don't think they'd believe a halfling's one of them, right?
Yeah,
Well,
in
you're just a
armor, that's
turncoat.
armed. Yeah. I don't know.
You're one of the bad ones.
The one
Well,
bad one.
speaking of, yeah, what was that
Can't beat them, join them.
Tarantino movie where the slave that actually bound other slaves?
Django.
Django
Yeah,
Unchained.
Django Chain. Yeah, they called him a jabberwack or what do they call the guy who's like, yeah, traded in his own people just to get ahead. Anyway, at the top of the battle music live, Karam, you are up, followed by a couple of warriors that are literally turning in not looking straight at you, but turning in our direction. One's a dwarf, probably has dark vision, going, what was that? You know, did I hear dwarven stealth? Hey, shut up, guys. I know dwarven stealth when I hear dwarven stealth. Karam.
Dwarven stuff.
I know dwarven stealth when I hear dwarven stealth.
Yeah, let's do device stratagem on the dwarf.
All right.
I'm not racist.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant when I said I was coming stealthily. I was just walking, kicking ahead of me, waiting for the door. Yeah, it just hasn't come yet.
Can't be stealth. You carry a tower shield that looks like a door just so you can employ dwarven stealth. +2. What do you want to do, Karam? 40 foot away from this guy. Hey, I
Device
have a
stratagem.
question.
He wants
Does
to
this have
shoot
a
him in the
range?
freaking eyeball.
Does device stratagem have a range? Something we've never asked you.
Oh, I mean,
Is
that's
it line of sight, or is it like has to be within 60 feet? Are there more restrictions to this awesome
That's
ability
a
of
good question.
It is.
that I should have asked a season ago? Yeah. Well, no, he just joined us this season, so I don't feel so bad.
Foe's weakness. Choose a creature you can see. So they just have to be
Not
within
line of
visible
sight. Okay. Yep. Oh, that's cool.
No inherent range limit.
Yep. I mean, I got to say, this charcoal black and white vision of dark vision is kind of funky, but they have a light source that is actually seemingly coming from up the right corner and filling the room quite nicely because of your low light vision. It's actually doing, like twice the work kind of thing.
Don't rush him, Doug. Let me get a second to tenderize.
I will be stopping short of them. If that makes sense.
Sure.
There will be a
We
gap.
Sorry, Karam. So 38 followed up by an attack. Or, yeah, 38 is your attack. Oh, damn.
1 damage, and he gets persistent bleed damage. Or a critical hit.
Yeah. Right in the side of the neck.
And then
He
I'll try a
turns.
second
He doesn't.
shot.
Killing a mortal man. This tough dwarf, his neck is so thick, and just because he's dwarvish, like what would normally just throat cut a guy, right? He takes one to the neck. He is severely wounded, but he just turns Like, what the hell? Yep.
For a 33 on the second one.
Still hits, yeah. Oh, turns his face towards you for the second hit arrow.
For 24 damage.
Followed up by an arrow to the shoulder. Please track your ammo. He's a
Man,
grizzly
he's still
tough sucker.
standing?
Oh, yeah. Hey, bad guys level with you. They're not going to put 20 hit point mooks guarding the major ending of the dungeon. These guys are meaty.
Wow.
I wouldn't have taken you down.
Oh, no.
I don't yet. I mean, 41 and 33, damn close.
24. So, yeah, 65.
Oh, sorry, the hit was the 33.
Right.
Yeah, that's 2/3 of my hit points. More than 2/3 of my hit points.
But that's Karam. Device stratagem and then
Yep.
shoot.
2 shots that should have killed anybody that you faced thus far. And dude takes it. He is seriously wounded, no doubt. But you just seem to have... It's not so meager that you just pissed him off. No, he is seriously wounded, but he's still alive and about to get pissy. Human warrior, right next to him, sees his buddy take arrows, spends his first round perceiving, and there is that hesitation of doubt. We were gambling, I'm winning, and then his buddy starts sprouting arrows like there's the human brain going 2 seconds of what the, and then realization dawns on him as he, as a second action, goes from being sitting to jumps up, throwing his chair back. And these guys never have weapons like across the room. Their weapons are like with them, maybe not out, but they're like on their back or, I'll just put this lean against right here in case you cheat, which I will grab it and smack you. You know what I mean? So perceives, jumps up, and arms himself with a great club. Is first human warrior number 1. Human warrior number 2 sees guy sprout arrows, takes a minute to wonder what's going on, sees other guy look past him, jumping up. I use my perception to check my buddy, because if buddy's distracted, I'm going to get some money and start raking cash towards me. But the dwarf is like, I'm not in the good position for that. So with a shrug, dude doesn't get to his feet, but pulls out his bow and just, turns in his chair. That way he's not blocking the view of his fellows. And sighs. Glug glug. These guys took some hits. You see the dwarf take 2. You can see from your viewpoint half of the human warrior jump up in surprise. Another one turning his chair. What do you want to do? You want to wait for big number 6 here? Hero number 6.
I'm going to close the gap with a single move of 30 because I am also fleet.
Sure.
Target the wounded dwarf thug. And I will attack him with a javelin with my second action.
Okay, 1 second. I noticed for some reason you got Miro still on there. So there you go.
Yeah, I just definitely wanted to target Miros.
Ryan isn't here. The javelin comes through a portal, hits him in the neck, and it returns to you. Ha ha! Eat it.
He won't be here long enough for me to declare him my special target, so I won't make him my special target for now. And
are you sure?
At least not this round.
Okay.
We'll see if he's still once I get there. All right.
Now there's a tagline for Glug Glug. You have lasted 3 rounds against me. You are deserving of being my special target. What? You weren't trying up until now? It's half dead. Haha.
35.
Just frickin' crits him. Dwarf hasn't even got up yet. It's not his turn. Frickin' just rams it straight through. All right.
Yeah. And I don't know if he is susceptible to holy damage, but 22 points of damage, which also happens to be holy.
Yo. do I just have to be evil?
Evil's
Or
not enough.
do I have to be supernatural?
Yeah, usually it's sort of like, I mean, just
Okay.
being an evil guy. Normally outsiders and that sort of thing, or
Yeah,
people who've
yeah.
sworn themselves to the dark powers or something like that.
No, he's.
Um,
I mean, the dude is.
he's just-
do they have alignments in the new rules?
Yeah, and
No.
in that, not really, but just being an alignment evil will not count, assuming that
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
sort of where you're playing it. This is not
I'm
that.
trying to help you. The dude is like
No, I'm
old
good.
school chaotic evil.
We'll do
but-
that, and then I'm
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
raise my shield with my third action.
Okay.
That should give Albrecht enough a space to operate. I hope I left you enough room.
It's actually good because I can pick targets. I was just reading the description of the spell. I didn't realize.
I got an arrow in my neck, an arrow in my shoulder, and now I have a javelin that as his arm came up to check what the hell, taking advantage, critting him right in the side of the rib, getting some organs, and then the javelin disappears. Maybe he'll be dead soon, but not yet. The dude is still wiggling. Yep. Now, after Glug Glug, we have the absent Muros, and then we actually have the guy that hasn't acted yet, the other dwarf.
watching his buddy just get absolutely pummeled.
Yep. Same thing. Has a look, realizes what's going on, right? Gets up and draws a javelin. And that's him.
Pull a javelin off.
Yeah. These guys have these are the dwarven thugs that they have a name for it, but they're dwarven thugs, and they each carry 3 javelins for, stopping guys that run. Arc a javelin into the back of a calf and dude goes down. Don't damage the merchandise. And then finally, we have Mr. Pincushion, dwarven thug number 2, who stands up and throws himself forward into a roll to take cover. So as he, instead of he's taking fire from one side, okay? Instead of turning around and gawking, seeing what everybody else has done and gawking, everyone stares, tell him where the danger is. He doesn't look to see what it is. I see arrows. I feel arrows. I feel pincushion. He actually lurches forward to the side, grabs the corner of the table, and flips it forward, giving 3 of them cover and isolating the one guy that reached for the money in front of the table, dumping all the money at his feet. And I go this way. Whee! As we'll call it 2 actions, because there's movement and grabbing and manipulating big items for a mechanic of combat, because he's making cover. So we'll say that's 2 items. And then I arm myself with a javelin as well. And then dice rolled and persistent damage. I take persistent damage from something.
Yeah,
What
that was from Karam's attack, and it also ends because he rolled a high. He rolled 19. So
All right.
after this round,
So he takes 5 bleed damage. So he yanks out the first crit arrow, and he starts taking spurt, and he claps his hand on there, or shrugs his shoulder. So now he's got one shoulder up in the air, squishing it. You know these people that squash bugs that bother their eyes just by winking, crush a walnut in their eyebrow. This is how tough this guy is. He stops internal bleeding by shrugging one shoulder, rolling a 19 flat check. And he's still going. Vicar Niles, looking on from on high, resists the portal effect to join this battle. I ain't coming into this. This is crazy. And finally, Albrecht Stonechucker. What do you want to do, Al?
I will move up.
Okay.
I think I've got enough to get me to the north side of Glug Glug.
Okay. So 5, 10, 25, 30 is a single move right behind him. And then you go, because of the opposite diagonals, right? Every other is double.
Yep.
And then you
And
want to
then-
go.
No, I want to stay right there because
Okay.
I can see somebody.
Yep.
And then I am going to cast Chain Lightning on them.
Okay.
Uh,
Does this appear from you or does it appear out there?
from me.
Okay, so we do have a little bit of cover. One bit from the table and bit from Glug Glug, but I would only call both lesser.
Yep.
Right. So hit
And
me
then
with the old-
so I can hit them all,
okay.
but I can only hit them each once.
Okay. So just hit the lesser cover and we'll see how this goes down. If we got to correct something, we got to correct something.
Yep.
Do you have some Arcanum? How do you summon this? What's your component? Do you have a little bit of Latin to spew this way? I'm always making these guys pray. I thought it might be cool that if you have a signature Fuego, like Dresden, we know what spell you're casting. You know what I mean? It might be fun as opposed to saying, I cast this one spell,
Well,
fall
I'm not.
back and do spell.
To be fair, as a player, I am not familiar with Draconic as a language, but all of my spells are in Draconic.
Okay. Right on. All right. Siri, say chain lightning.
Yeah, I know, right?
Draconic. I'm just curious now. Right? Oh, here we go. Veth Ithpro.
Veth. Yeah.
It's
it pro.
It's my lightning. You're saying my lightning. That's awesome. So Ithpro Krill. So Veth Ithpro Krill. That's awesome.
Yep.
I think we might have found some interesting RP here. Let you just, ask good old internet.
So
Anyway.
here I go.
Yeah.
So what do we got? What else go up here?
Success, fail,
Do-do-do-do.
success,
So we've got a fail. We've got a crit fail. Ooh. A fail and a success. Okay, so then I shall
Okay.
roll the damage.
Okay.
Those are a lot of dice. I like it.
Yep.
Oh, damn.
D12s are beautiful.
So 47 to the first guy.
Okay.
47 to the second guy. 94 to the third guy, and 23 to the one who saved.
Okay.
Now, there's something that I have forgotten to do.
What's that?
All of those numbers are +6.
Okay. So I will quickly add and describe.
I
human
can't.
warrior
I haven't
one.
found a way. I haven't found a way
No,
to
it's
do
fine.
it.
I got it. I got it.
But it's a sorcerer trait.
Yep,
So you add the rank of the spell to
Yep.
the damage
So
directly.
starting with the human on the far side of the table that got a little cover from his dwarven buddy, now takes not 47 but 53 points of damage. Okay. And is caught sideways as not being the first target. So he gets lit up left to right as lightning passes through his body and armor from one friend to another and suffers 53. Funny enough, for whatever reason, you're lightning arcing past Glug Glug and hitting the dwarf that tried to make the cover, the guy that was spurting blood, first, and being on your side of the table with the lightning dancing behind him, lucked out and only took 23, and now we're going to say 29 points of damage. Still gets hit in the back, but doesn't suffer such a nasty lightning bolt from you. Next,
Sick.
the dwarven thug that was in the corner that acted last, being straight in a row, and as his dwarven counterpart that bled, flipped the table, spilling coins at one guy's feet. As he lifts his metal javelin, becomes the perfect lightning rod, ungrounded, and takes 94 points of damage, possibly causing fellow javelin wielding Glug Glug to say,
I surrender.
so it's kind of like him going, wow, he surrendered. Okay.
He surrendered to the chain lightning.
The very first and final target of our description, but first target of the lightning, gets hit full on by the arc and charred to a crisp and doesn't even fall dead as his top half is burned away to ash before the lightning jumps from his metal armor and onto his friends, and our pincushion dwarf has been slain outright. And as we continue from round 1 to round 2, we will see you all next time.